Thank you to Mr. Harding for that interview. Great to catch up with young men in our sport. I look forward to big things from him this year. Right now, I've got the defending champ, the coach of the defending OCC champs on the line, Coach Corey Firebaugh from Mt Vernon High School. Coach, how you doing this morning?
Doing great. How are you, Zach?
Real good. I really appreciate you joining us for our first show of the Takedown, and look forward to hearing from you about your team and your upcoming season. You're defending OCC champs, Mt Vernon Yellow Jackets. You have 113-pound Brock Blankenhorn. Am I saying that right?
Yep. Yeah,
Blankenhorn.
Yeah, Blankenhorn.
150-pound Maverick Gregory. He's ranked number 14. 157-pounder Jake Taylor, ranked number 12, and 215-pounder Alex Taylor, ranked number 3. What are some other wrestlers in your lineup that we should keep an eye out for, other than the guys that are ranked right now?
Yeah, honestly, we have a pretty deep amount of kids, deep lineup coming back. We just had a few seniors in our lineup last year. My one son, Rylan, he graduated. Charlie Bell and AJ Fauner were the 3 seniors in our starting lineup. So we had a lot of kids returning. I'd kind of be remiss if I didn't say something about the district qualifiers we've had back this year. So I'll kind of list down through those, so some of the other guys to look for that aren't ranked yet, but hopefully they can possibly get there. And by the end of the season would be Aiden Berdulis. He's going to wrestle eventually probably 120 for us. He's a returning district qualifier. Preston Hempfield. He's a returning district qualifier as well. He'll eventually be down at 126 for us, I think. We have Mason Mitchell. Mason Mitchell actually was a 6th place finisher at districts last year. So he's really trying to make that next step to get down to the shot and see what he can do to get on the podium down there. So he'll probably be around the 144, 150 range right there. Excuse me, with Maverick. We also have Kyler Howard. He's a senior for us, so he's done a lot of off-season work for us. He's been at everything. He's gone to different camps, Palmer's Club. So he's really made a big jump. Being a senior year, he really wanted to take advantage of that time in the off-season to get better. And then Luke Mullins. Luke Mullins was at 190 last year. He's kind of going to be an undersized heavyweight for us, but he's super athletic, and he's going to be a little comparable, to like maybe a Kyle Snyder was when he was at heavyweight. A lot of motion on his feet, just being athletic and be able to hang with those bigger guys. So I'm looking for some big things out of him at heavyweight as well. So we have a big crew coming back. So I just want to keep them healthy and hungry.
So Mullins, I believe he played linebacker for you guys for the football team, right? He's an athlete. Is that a football decision to go up to heavyweight this year?
Yeah, we kind of talked a little as a coaching staff. I won't say it's out of the realm of possibility for him to get back down to 190. We're going to kind of see how it goes right now. But he did alpha. He's able to go to 190. That'll be kind of a decision as we see how the competition goes and how he competes with some of those bigger heavyweights, and we'll kind of go from there. So he does love football, so we're going to kind of let it ride for right now. But as the season goes along, we'll see how his weight goes and kind of make a decision probably after the holidays.
Sounds good. Looking forward to see where that kid ends up, because I was impressed with him on the football field. I thought he was a tough kid on the football field. He's a great tackler. And that translates well to those upper weights. And now something I've wanted to talk to you for about a year. Your 215-pounder, Alex Taylor. I was at the OCC meet last year, and there was, let's call it, a little bit of a dust-up. Not quite a Donnybrook or a brouhaha, but a little bit of a dust-up with the Mt Vernon fans and the Mansfield senior fans, and everyone got calmed down. And one of your assistant coaches says to me, referring to your 215-pounder, Alex Taylor, who I think just lost in the finals to Mansfield Seniors state placing 215-pounder. And he says that kid's going to be one of the best wrestlers to ever come out of this conference. Now, I scoffed. I did. I scoffed. I laughed in the guy's face. I did. And for that, I apologized because I was wrong. um, so Taylor goes to state, Division I, 215-pounder, which is already a huge accomplishment, right?
Right.
Loses his first match, drops down, draws a number 1 seed. So if you're going to lose your first match, you're thinking, okay, we lost our first match. It's fine. We'll pick up another guy that loses. You draw the 1 seed from Perrysburg, arguably the toughest district in the state, any division, and he's a 1 seed coming out of it. You win that match, and then he rips off 4 in a row. Now, I don't know off the top of my head how many 4-time state champs there are in Ohio high school history. I'm willing to bet there's less guys who have placed third and had to win 5 in a row to do it. What was that ride like? Tell me about that day.
Yeah, man, it was an up and down, couple of days really. With Alex, he was an accomplished youth wrestler and middle school wrestler, but we all know when you get to the high school level, that's obviously a different level.
Division I high school too.
Yeah. You go from that to Division I high school. Then even it's a bigger jump to go from high school to college, right? You and I kind of know that, but
right.
It's those 2 days were just a roller coaster because every kid that gets to state, their mindset, you're the top 16 in the state. Their mindset has to be, I want to be a state champion. I'm here. I've done all this work for 4 months, more than that for a lot of them, right? Year round, whatever it is. So his mindset was he wanted to be a state champion, right? Tough weight class, 215 as a freshman. That's a difficult task. So he loses his first match in the ultimate tiebreaker, actually. It came down, basically, that's your triple overtime, right? So no score in overtime, no score in the 30-30s. And then it goes to the ultimate tiebreaker. He loses 3-2. The kid gets out. So he's obviously devastated, So for a freshman to be able to come back, kind of gather himself, win that night, because you lose that first round, you wrestle again that evening against the kid from St. Ed's, who's obviously, they're, a national power. All the kids in their starting lineup are, top notch. And then to win that. And that was, again, the run that he made, if you look back, I wrote him down for you just when you asked me this question.
Oh, yeah.
He won
absolutely.
that match 1-0. He won that 1-0. So he moves on to the next day. The next day, and to get in for placement, he wins 3-1. So another grinder, another tough match, The next one after that, he wins 2-1. The next one, he wins 5-3 in overtime. The next one, he wins 5-2. For third place, he wins 5-2. So, and in the 5-2 match is someone that he lost to by 1 or 2 earlier in the year at our home tournament, the first weekend of the year. So for him to be able to refocus at the age of being a freshman, which, by the way, he's a young freshman. He was only 14 through the whole wrestling season last year.
Oh, my God.
I take that back, 15 maybe. 14, 15, but he was young. He's young for his class. For him to refocus and be able to come back and win 5 in a row to get third as a Division I 215-pounder is pretty amazing. But for anyone to do it, it doesn't surprise me that he would. He wrestles all year round. He loves the sport. He'll wrestle anyone at any time, anywhere. And I love that mentality. So, and I think that mentality paid off for him, to be honest.
Please extend my apologies to him, your assistant coach, for ever doubting what he said. I was wrong. That Alex Taylor kid has my eternal respect. Running on a 5-0 run at state to place third, after having your heart broke.
Correct.
Incredible.
Yeah, he was upset, and you give the old cliche coach talk of you got to get the next best thing. You got to get third, and he took it to heart and he did it. So it was an amazing run, to answer your question. It was unbelievable. Each round he just seemed to pick up more momentum. His confidence grew, and it was a great couple of days. Yeah.
Yeah, an undercovered run. I saw an article. I think one of the Knox County online sources published it, and I had to read it twice. I'm like, hold on, this kid did what? And then
Yep.
I wanted to have you on this show ever since I saw that.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
back to the OCC. Back to the OCC. As defending champs, with 4 guys ranked in D1, do you feel like you're in a great position to win it again? And what teams do you think are going to push you the most in this OCC battle at the end of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think all the teams in the OCC come into the season, I would assume, is that being one of their team goals, right? So that was definitely when I took over last year as the head coach. That was one of our main team goals. I mean, it has to be, in my opinion. Um, we were able to have things fall our way, and we were able to win the tournament last year. But I think everybody is going to have that same mentality, like, hey, we've got the squad that we want to, a conference championship, in my opinion, is important. It's for the whole team. It's not just for those 14 kids that are wrestling that day. It's the kids that are behind them and the kids that are coming to practice every day and pushing them as drill partners, right? So to me, it's a true team award. So that's why it's important to us. Like I said, we have a lot of kids coming back, but I also said earlier in the interview, we need to keep them healthy and hungry. We're no longer maybe going to sneak up on anyone or anything like that. So that's kind of been the message so far as we've started this season. And as we go throughout the year, get kids in the right weights, get them in shape. I hope that at the end of that day, we're in the running, right? Obviously things. There's other teams there. There's other things that are going to happen positively and negatively throughout every tournament. But I hope we just give ourselves a chance to try to win another conference title. Yeah. The teams that are going to push us are, in my opinion, kind of the standard, which Ashland's been the standard for the last probably decade of this conference. They rattled off 9 in a row, maybe. You might know that more than me, but I think West Holmes got one in there maybe a couple of years ago, and then we were able to come in and wrestle well and take one last year. So it's always an exciting tournament. It's obviously small with 8 teams. New Philly was a good addition. I really feel that was a great addition. They had some solid kids, and it's an 8-team tournament, but there's a lot of pride and there's a lot of kids that can say, hey, I won my conference, or hey, our team won a conference title. And I just think that that's something that they can always have and hang their hat on for future conversations that they may have. So we feel it's important. We hope that we put ourselves in position to be able to compete for that first place trophy. And we'll see how it all plays out in February there.
Well, to touch on your point, 215 pounds last year at the OCC. Taylor placed 3rd in Division One. He wrestled from
Mackay Bradley.
Mackay Bradley, who's wrestling at Kent State right now, placed in Division Two, right?
Yep.
The Spots kid from Ashland.
Multiple placers.
Right, multiple places. Thank you. Multiple placer. Yep. The Spots kid from Ashland was a state qualifier. He didn't even make the finals. So
yeah.
I mean, when you've got an 8-team tournament, but you've got to beat a state qualifier just to get to the finals, you better have your headgear just right heading into that one.
Absolutely.
So this is Mount Vernon's last year in the OCC. Sorry to see you go, but it was a move. Obviously, your administration it felt was the best for you. Looking at, I think it's called the Licking County League. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, the LCL Licking County League.
Looking at the LCL, comparing it to the OCC, what are the comparisons you see there specifically for wrestling?
Yeah, unfortunately, I really like the conference. I'm from that area. I went to Northwestern High School, so I'm a little biased to the OCC. I loved going there. I have a lot of family back in the Worcester-Ashland area, so I really was sad to see us move conferences, to be honest. That's above my pay grade, right? So
right.
So we're going on to the Licking County League. Just some of the differences and similarities, I guess. One of the major differences is that there's, I think it's a 12-team league. I'm not super familiar with it yet, but I think it's a 12-team league. There's going to be like a small school and a big school division in those. So as far as like football and things like that, they'll have those too, and then some may cross over or just get some non-conference things for that. As far as wrestling, though, I think it's just going to be just a larger conference tournament. So those 12 teams will go to that tournament, and we'll all wrestle within the same conference tournament, is my understanding. Um, and I'm excited about that, right? Like I said, 8 teams, 12 teams is great. I don't know if they'll all have full teams, but um, having those additional teams, additional matches for that conference tournament, I think is exciting. Um, I think that the OCC, the quality of wrestlers that we've had, to your point of just a few minutes ago, I mean, there were 2 state placers and another state qualifier in the 215-pound weight class. There's multiple state qualifiers and state placers that come out of that OCC conference. So I feel the quality of wrestling in the OCC conference is second to none personally. And again, I'm a little biased, but I just think that area of wrestling is solid, and I'm personally am going to miss that tournament. I will. I am excited for the new challenge in the LCL. Some of the schools that may challenge for that. Watkins Memorial has a traditional program. They're in that conference. They'll be hard to beat. I think Zanesville is in there. Granville. Granville usually has a few quality kids in there, and we're actually dueling them this year, trying to make that transition a little bit into the LCL realm of the schedule as well. So, um, we'll see how it goes, and we'll just kind of adjust. And like I said, at the end of the day, a conference is a conference, and we want to win that conference. So we're going to try to train our kids to have that mindset that that's a team goal every year. If you're part of a title conference championship, I think that's a big deal.
Well, my producer extraordinaire, Mount Vernon grad Adam Thompson, was nice enough to bring up the LCL teams. On my monitor here, it said the Granville Blue Aces, Zanesville Blue Devils, Pataska Licking Heights Hornets, Newark Licking Valley Panthers, Pataska Watkins Memorial, Heath, Johnstown Monroe, Hebron Lakewood, Newark Catholic, Johnstown Northridge, and Utica. Does Newark Catholic still have wrestling?
They do actually, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They have a nice program actually. They come up and they'll train with us for some of the postseason stuff. So
Okay.
they don't have usually a full team, but the kids they have are quality. And they the last few years, their Coach Nelson down there has done a great job of recruiting those guys to come out for the team, and they've had a couple nice placers here the last few years. So they're kind of on the up and up. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Good. Well, Coach, really appreciate your time. I'm going to miss not seeing you around the OCC tournament after this year, but I know your program is on to great things. Mount Vernon, they definitely have the right guy in the right position to take their program to the next level. My good friend and ex-teammate, Corey Firebaugh. Coach Firebaugh, thanks for joining us on OH Report. Good luck this season to all you guys, and see you at the OCC tournament, my friend.
All right, great. Thanks, Zach. Hey, we'll honestly try to keep some of those teams, West Holmes, Ashland, and things like that, in our schedule.
Oh, great.
For years to come. So we'll still see you around. Appreciate what you're doing here with the OH Wrestling Report here. That's really a cool thing. So anything you ever need from me, let me know, and I'm sure we'll see you. If not before, we'll see you at the OCCs.
Sounds good, Corey. Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.